I will read a different poem. Season of Tears. It falls quiet, the call of the wilderness. Clouds traipse above the palms, and from the edge of the groves the towers are tinted rose. It falls quiet, the call of return. I ask her, and Damascus does not answer, does not come to the stranger's aid. Will he stop here if he passes by? He died without a sound, without a secret to his name. I live where she sleeps, among her long exhales, in the weeping fields, in the bed spread by her tears, in the small hallway between her eyelids and sky. It falls quiet, the call of return. Of my life, nothing remains in my eye, except these sad ghosts. Still the trees that weep on the city's ground are lovers who sing my songs. Mirror of endless wandering, change the face of the moon, for my beloved's face is no longer there. Yesterday we climbed toward that star, saw him in the nude, saw him clothed, and what we saw struck us, a face made of dirt. Changed the face of the moon, now that her face is no longer there. O mirror of endless loss. It falls quiet, the call of return. I walk, and the Euphrates alongside me walks. The trees follow like flags and a pair of eyes from the embers of years. I sway with the swaying waist of the beast. I dance with a black star, and the towers are melodies displaced from their scores. My body and its captors are in one land, my heart and its owners elsewhere. It falls quiet, the song of return, and the towers are a country of tears. If she'd only known, she'd have wept, the Euphrates and its banks of palms. It falls quiet, the song of return, confused, I own a choked language that raves towers I own, confused, crucifying days, tempted by a terror of its depth, tempted to rage, confused, the shores rob my inheritance, the waves defend my dawn. I sang of gardens in a towering palace, while in wretchedness in attics hid. Tell him who used to sleep on soft cushions that the heights are being punished by a star. Tell him to ride through the specter of hardship, or he'll become the lowest of men. It falls quiet, the song of return. Wronging myself, I roll my history, slit its throat, in my hand rouse it back to life. I shepherd my errors, torture my mornings. I feed them night and feed them mirage. I have a shadow that fills my earth and lengthens. It sees and gleams, it burns its past, and like me, burns itself. And we live together, walk together, the same green language on our lips, and in the face of mid-morning light, and in the face of death, our ways part. It falls quiet, the song of return. I dream of Damascus, of terror in the shadow of Qasiyun, a past era stripped of its eyes, of a calcified body, wordless tombs, calling out Damascus, die here and let your promises burn, calling out Damascus, die and never return. You chaste prey of fattened thighs, woman, offer to whomever comes your way, to chance to a daring wayfarer, sleeping through fever and through ease in the arms of the east. I drew your eyes. In my book I carried you adept on my youth in the greenness of Rota, the foothills of Qasiyun, woman of mud and sin, temptress made of light, a city, Damascus, once your name. Yesterday poetry, daylight and I reached Rota and stormed the gate of hope, howling at trees, howling at water and fields, weaving out of them an army and a flag to raid your black sky and Damascus. Our hands continue to weave. Nothing, not even death, can dissuade us. When will we, Damascus? When will we find ease? And last night in dream, Damascus, I shaped a statue of clay. In his white curves I planted your history, Damascus, and I began in terror and in joy to fall like a quake on the hill of Julik. I embraced her, stroked her, and sang, crescent moon, and I said, no, you'll remain in longing, Damascus, in my blood, and I said, let Damascus burn. And my murdered depths arose, calling out to Damascus their frightened cries. Woman of disobedience, without certainty, woman of acquiescence, woman of habab and shock, woman of veins filled with forest and swamp, naked woman, lost to her thighs, listening to the dead, to graves, to dens, listening with pious ears, in love with your yellow corpses, your victims, feeding on mud and tears. City, all eaten up, Damascus, feeding on hide and skin. Oh, love, no. Oh, Damascus, if it were not for you, I would have not fallen into these gorges, would not have torn down these walls, would not have known this fire that calls out, that thuds our history and illuminates, vessel of the world coming our way. Pardon me, Damascus, you sinner, beatified by your sins.